am sniffing gasoline once every 10 minutes. No matter where I'm at, I have a bottle with me.
Nobody can get through to her.
And that we're smelling gas while you're cooking.
And your point is?
I'm afraid you could die.
I don't want to do it for myself, and there's no point in doing it.
Jesus, stop.
So here's a little zing, ready? Teresa won't live another 30 years of gas sniffing. It's Russian roulette every time.
I am addicted to my teddy bears. All I ever wanted to do was be a mother. Would you tell me to neglect my children?
No, but these are bears.
She's not allowing others in. She's isolating herself.
And I truly treat them as if they are my own children.
My name is Teresa. I'm 44 years old. I'm from Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and I'm addicted to smelling gasoline. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I roll over, sit up, and smell my gas bottle. Then I'll get up, take another sniff of the gasoline, and then I'll come downstairs, and a couple minutes later, I'll take another sniff of it.
Teresa has been addicted to smelling gasoline for over 30 years. She takes a sniff every 10 minutes and even wakes up in the middle of the night for a fix.
I don't even know how to explain how it smells. I just love the smell of it, how it makes my nose feel inside the back of my throat.
Teresa was only 13 years old when her dad asked if she wanted to smell his gas can.
I smelled it that one time, and that was all it took.
Now she stashes 4 water bottles filled with gasoline throughout the house for easy access.
No matter where I'm at, I have a bottle with me. I keep it either in my purse or in my jacket pocket. When I eat, it's sitting right there at the kitchen table in case I get that urge. Wait a minute. That might make me feel better.
When I walk in the door, the first thing that hits me is the smell of gas. It smells like you're walking into a garage. And that we're smelling gas while you're cooking.
And your point is, you don't like it, go upstairs.
When Teresa doesn't have gasoline, watch out. She does get very angry.
Yeah,
what do you think it's doing to your health? What do you think it's doing to your brain? Or...
I don't know. I can't answer that. But I'm not going to sit here and have you throw it in my face when, you know...
Not throwing it in your face. I'm just saying, you've been saying that for years, but you're still smelling gas.
Teresa doesn't work and is supported by her boyfriend. She spends almost $400 a month on her addiction.
Me and Frank fight over it. You know, take the last couple dollars we have just to go get the gasoline can filled because I have to have my gasoline to sniff. I come to the gas station about twice a week. The more I go to the gas station, the fresher the gas is.
I've heard her talk about situations where she chose the gas over buying food or something like that. She just needs her fix.
I've had memory loss since about 1995. Because of my memory loss, I have to use, I have to use little notes and leave them tacked up on my steering wheel of my car, even outside of my purse sometimes. The past 6 years, I have had major stomach problems. I've had anemia problems.
To think about the gasoline could be killing her, it just makes me just want to curl up in a ball and cry somewhere because I can't get through to her. Nobody can get through to her.
I never really thought about going a day without it. I don't know if I could or not. I'm ashamed of it. Yeah.
She just needs to know that she's very loved. She needs to stop.
My name is Krista. I'm 26 years old. I live in Rockford, Illinois with my boyfriend, Brian, and I am addicted to my teddy bears. There's really nowhere that the bears don't go with me. The bank, the park, shopping, pretty much anywhere that I go, they go, just as if it were my newborn baby. And I don't leave them in the car by themselves. That wouldn't be right either.
Krista cares for 12 teddy bears as though they are real children. She dresses them in different outfits, sits them at the table for meals, and plays with them every day. Krista is unable to have kids of her own due to medical complications.
It hurts. You know, all I ever wanted to do was be a mother to a child and love them. But I've had to take that and try to push that out of my head now. Here, you can go ahead and get baby Joey all set up for bed.
He's fine how he is.
No, he's not. He needs his pajamas on. Nobody sleeps in a tuxedo.
This is ridiculous.
Would you tell me to neglect my children?
No, but these are bears. Krista's addiction to her teddy bears is a little bit embarrassing. Go out for walks, she'll have the teddy bears in the stroller. Sometimes she'll want to put the bears in the kids' swing and she wants me to push them. They're bears, why we gotta push them?
Because they enjoy it and they're having fun. Growing up as a child, I absolutely loved stuffed animals. It was a way just to have happiness. It started with one bear, you know, and then somehow it just blew up into this tremendous thing in my life.
Krista's a recovering drug addict. She's been sober for nearly 2 years.
I have an addictive personality. I've taken the drugs and the drinking out of my life, and I've put the bears in there. And I truly treat them as if they are my own children. I purchase clothing for them. They all have names, personalities, different outfits to change into. And I do love each and every one of them in their own way. Oh, better.
Krista spends 15 hours a day caring for her 12 teddy bears. She's unemployed and supported by her family.
I really don't pay attention to the cost. You know, I love them like they're my own, and so money really isn't an object to me. You guys don't need raincoats, do you? No, not yet. Brian has said to me that, you know, I'm going to end up dying alone with my teddy bears.
Krista's really dependent on the bears and loves to say they're part of this family, and I just keep on telling her there's bears, they're not even real.
What I do is what I do. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Coming up.
Mom, what are you doing? People are watching you.
Teresa's daughter has had enough.
I can't watch you, deteriorate anymore.
44-year-old Teresa has been sniffing gasoline for 30 years. She often inhales fumes over 100 times a day.
I am sniffing gasoline usually about once every 10 minutes. And then if I'm anxious or frustrated or something like that, it's like every 5 minutes.
She suffers from increased memory loss, stomach problems, and anemia. Her daughter Jennifer is afraid her addiction could become fatal.
Over the past couple years, I have seen a decline in my mom's health. Gasoline is very toxic, and it's just making her body worse. It's making everything worse. My biggest fear was that she's just gonna die from it. I'm really starting to smell gas now. I'm getting a headache.
I can't believe it's that bad. I mean, just from my gas can, and then my gas can's in the trunk.
It's in the trunk, exactly.
I know, I don't smell it.
Here comes the worst part of the visit. Try not to spill too much.
I won't.
It stinks already.
When we're at the gas station, Jennifer will be inside the car yelling stuff at me like, "Mom, that's gross."
Ew. Nasty. Nasty.
I'll be outside paying her no mind because I don't care what she has to say.
You're gonna get sick. Mom, what are you doing? People are watching you. All right, you're done.
It's no good.
You better wash your hands before we go eat.
I will. Calm down. God, let me have the moment.
I feel like I need to just sit down and tell her you have an issue. Like, it's really bothering me. I really wish you didn't do it anymore. Mom, there's people watching you.
Well, I can't help it.
Can you actually eat now? Can you stomach your food after you just did that?
Yes,
'Cause
I feel better.
I think I might have to wait a minute here.
I feel better.
This whole memory loss thing, it's getting bad. Like, a couple years ago, I can remember you look at me and say, "Hey, Rachel," and I'm like, "No, I'm Jem." And now it's just getting worse and worse. Have you ever told any of your doctors that you do this?
No, that would be embarrassing. No.
I'm really worried. I don't know if anybody else has told you how they feel, but I can't watch you, deteriorate anymore. You never know. Someday that last sniff could be your last sniff, The brain is a sensitive organ, and you just...
And I understand that. But I have to be the one ready to quit. I can't do it for you. I can't do it for this person. I have to be the one want to quit.
Yeah.
And if I don't want to do it for myself, then there's no point in doing it.
She's a very, very stubborn woman. And it would almost have to take a doctor to be like, "Teresa, you have 30 days to live if you don't stop." Almost like there was a tag on her foot telling her when she was going to die. It is hard because I feel like she doesn't care. I'm really worried. I don't want you. You're already sick. I'm afraid you could die.
I didn't know Jennifer was that worried about me. I actually know it hurt her today. Well, I'm going to try and get some help. I can only try. That's all I can do. That's all you guys can really ask of me. I wouldn't mind going to see a doctor. Maybe there's something out there that could help me stop the addiction. I don't know how to stop. But I need the help. I've never asked for it for this. I was always too ashamed.
Still ahead.
Can't believe you got this thing a high chair.
He's gotta be safe.
That's not anything normal.
And then, can a doctor get through to Teresa?
Every time you're doing that, you're damaging every organ. Every single one.
26-year-old Krista is addicted to her 12 teddy bears. She spends over half her day caring for them and never leaves the house without a bear. Her family and friends are embarrassed by her strange behavior.
JR's one of my really close friends. He is in a lot of ways a father figure. He tells me things that I don't necessarily want to hear, but I need to hear. Let's see, come here. Come on. There you go.
Oh my goodness.
He's got his little jeans. You know
And
that.
what you're gonna feed him do?
No, he won't eat. He'll get too dirty. Do you guys have a booster seat or anything?
Here's a high chair instead.
Oh,
I thought that
okay.
might be a little more comfortable.
Great, thank you.
welcome.
All right, come on, baby Brian.
Can't believe you got this thing a high chair.
He's gotta be safe.
Okay, you say so. That's not anything normal. You don't go into restaurants and ask them to bring a high chair for a doll. I'd like to see her not using those teddy bears as a crutch. It's time to let that go. What are you gonna do if something happened to them bears?
I'd be upset. I would. I know, that's where I realize I have to take that step back. Yeah, I would definitely like to stop relying on these bears to fill voids in my life. I just haven't been able to figure out that way yet.
It's okay to have a crutch, but you gotta have a way out of that too. Don't let it take over your life. Don't let it consume.
I'm definitely willing to go and see a psychologist. Maybe they can give me some pointers and some ideas on how to get through it.
Teresa has been addicted to smelling gasoline for more than 3 decades. She carries a bottle with her at all times and can't go more than 10 minutes without a sniff. Her family has begged her to get help. She's refused until today.
I'm at the doctor's office today, and I'm anxious and nervous, and I just want to get this done and over with.
So my understanding is that there are lots of people who are worried about you and your health. And why would that be?
I've been sniffing gasoline for about 30 years now.
For 30 years?
30 years.
Every day?
Every day. I've been having a lot of short-term memory loss. It started getting bad about 1995. I was getting lost when I drive. I'd misplace things. I'd let food cook on the oven, you know, just stupid stuff like that.
You need to know from at least a medical standpoint that this is a very destructive thing. Gasoline destroys the covering to nerves and prevents the nerves from sending signals. Then not only do your organs attached to the nerves not work normally, but muscles also don't work normally.
Okay.
So it breaks down tissue just like a person is actually being burned by fire. And that's pretty much what's happening to you when you're sniffing gasoline.
Wow.
When you're sniffing the gas, it's not just, you know, in your nose and in your throat. It goes through the tissue and eventually into the blood. You didn't know that?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Every time you're doing that, you're damaging every organ. Every single one.
When the doctor said that it was affecting my whole body, I just couldn't believe it was doing that. So it was very overwhelming to hear him say that.
My guess is that your organs, including your nervous system, are much more damaged than they should be for someone your age.
Teresa won't live another 30 years of gas sniffing. Every time that she's sniffing, she might overdo it and then die. It's Russian roulette every time.
Up next.
So here's a little zing, ready? That's a surprising response.
A test gives Teresa unexpected news.
This is a break point.
And then Krista uncovers the sad truth.
What do you feel if you do not have the bears?
Scared.
Teresa can't go more than 10 minutes without smelling gasoline. After battling her addiction for more than 30 years, Teresa's finally getting help.
When people have lots of exposure to gasoline, it can cause damage to the nerves that are furthest away from the center part of the body. Mm-hmm. And one way we can find out if the nerve is working normally or if it's still intact, we can do a test which is called the EMG, which stands for electromyogram. So we're going to be sending a small shock through, and the goal of the shock is to tell us how long it's going to be before the information gets back. And we have standards that we can compare your nerves with those other standards and find out, is there damage to the outsides of the nerves? The shock itself is going to be no different than the shock that people get when they touch a doorknob. We're at 5. Okay, so let's go there. Okay, so here's a little zing. Ready? Okay, a little bit more. You doing okay over there?
Mm-hmm.
And here comes the next shock. Okay, good. This nerve we're having trouble even finding. So here's the next pinch. And one last one. Okay, well, that's a surprising response.
Good?
It's a good, surprising response. The test shows that your nerve looks okay. Well, this is a great sense of relief for you, I can imagine. And at the same time, it's still doing damage.
Right.
She's been tremendously lucky. 30 years of sniffing, and somehow her body's held up. but she's not going to stay lucky after 30 more years. This is a break point. Every single post-it that you put up is another reminder that this is
getting worse.
An area of damage. So do you see a time that you're going to stop?
No, this is not going to happen overnight. I know it's going to be a process to do, and it's going to be a long recovery. Just knowing the results of the test that you just did, I know there's hope left.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think you're going to do great.
All this information was very overwhelming for me, but it did give me a light at the end of the tunnel, and that's all I needed. When I get home, I'm going to try and not even use the rest of that bottle tonight. I'm going to look at myself day by day. That's all I can do right now.
Krista doesn't leave the house without at least one of her 12 teddy bears. Today, she's meeting with a psychologist to see how she can overcome her addiction.
What do you feel your future would hold if you continue with this addiction with the bears?
People in my life are becoming increasingly embarrassed about it. And I don't want to end up just having my bears and my bears alone.
What do you feel if you do not have the bears?
Scared.
Sounds like it's a comfort.
Yeah, it's definitely a comfort for me.
She's isolating herself. Isolation then increases her anxiety because she's using these as a crutch rather than using a real person. One thing about emotions is they come and go. I want you to feel like you are in control of that emotion.
Okay.
How would you feel if you didn't bring the bears to one of your shopping trips?
I'm really not sure.
Would you be able to commit to trying that?
Okay, bring them in the car, but leave them in the car.
Exactly.
Not just leaving them at home.
And as long as you have that commitment to change, that's that first step for you.
It's been 3 weeks since I had the therapist session. It was really a big eye-opener for me. Even though I could tell everybody it's not a problem, it's not a problem, actually sitting down, talking about it, and thinking about it, I realized it was a problem. I realized that the people that were around me were showing me the love and attention that I needed. I just didn't see it for myself, and so I neglected them and their attention they were giving me and gave it all to the bears. I'm definitely ready to start focusing on the people that really mean a lot to me in my life.